All right, guys, welcome back to the ALGS channel. Hope you guys are all doing well and having a great day so far. So much to dive into, so much to discuss regarding Roster Mania, OpTic Gaming in the news, Space Station in the news, Sentinels in the news, and so much more that I want to discuss in today's video. Yesterday, someone told me I could not rock a hat. So the reason I rock a hat is because I wake up, first thing I do is record ALGS. I got bedhead, so today you're going to get my bedhead and see why I wear a hat every single time I do this. But make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. First thing I wanted to mention here really quickly, before we get into the whole roster stuff, I wanted to kind of make mention of Esport Arena updates last night. These were kind of the leaderboards of the players that won. CLG obviously taking first place by a landslide. Dark Zero, the former world champions, over here in second place. Given Tripods did finish in sixth here, so despite all of the drama that's been going on lately, you know, they did get a good placement here, but you know, is it really good when you look at all of these teams that are in here? You don't really have any big team names here that are kind of scary to play against. Maybe Season in ninth place, but other than that, honestly, it's not like there's a lot of pro teams in here. It's not like Tripods finished in top 6 along with TSM, NRG, and all of that stuff. So I don't really know if this is too good. However, it is worth mentioning. It is worth noting. Also, it is worth mentioning that Nano on CLG that won literally just followed me while I'm recording this. Just thought that was funny. Now, let's go ahead and jump into the big Roster Mania. So a couple days ago, we made a video regarding the whole situation with OpTic. Apparently, Space Station's dropped was going to be coming over to play for OpTic, and then we had some problem with Sentinels. Sentinels has dropped their roster all of a sudden. We kind of expected it because they didn't even qualify for Pro League again. So like, it's not like that big of a surprise to us, really. So Apex Legends Alpha Intel made this tweet back on January the 24th. Sentinels have released their Apex Legends roster after the team failed to qualify for hashtag ALGS Split 2. It's unclear what is next, but it follows a lot of teams leaving Apex. North America in Cloud9, G2, Liquid releasing their Apex rosters as well. We have an update from this. It said, update, the Sentinels will reportedly sign the Space Station Gaming roster ahead of ALGS Split 1 playoffs, and Space Station Gaming are set to quit Apex Legends Esports, according to sources. That is not a good sign. Once again, I just hate to see all of these big organizations leave the game. Now, this was what was weird. You see that and you think, okay, SSG is going to get picked up by Sentinels. Maybe they just bought them out. And that probably is what happened. However, there is a little contingency to it. A couple of days ago, we made this OpTic Gaming roster video, and this was the word that we had coming straight from Dropped. He's a player on SSG that would theoretically get picked up by the Sentinels roster. But this is the Twitch clip that he made just a couple of days ago. Roll the clip.
I haven't been scrimming with my team because of my own decision not to, or anything like that is just not correct. Like, unfortunately, there are things that I can't talk about, and you know, I'm not getting dropped from SSG, nothing like that, but it has not been my decision not to scrim. There's other reasons for it, and I should be scrimming with my team soon, some point leading up to LAN. I am playing at LAN with SSG. So like, just to clear up all the fucking rumors and
now that he has said that, and now that we have the leaks of what this roster thing is actually going to be, all of it is now starting to make sense. And what's kind of weird, though, is there's a little bit more to the story. So on the Dexerto article, they basically quote the esports article. So I'm just kind of going to go to the esports.gg article because this is where it all came from, and it has a lot more news. And actually, it was their sources that confirmed all of this. Sources say that Sentinels are to sign the SSG Apex Legends roster before LAN. So that means that Sentinels is actually going to be attending the LAN, not SSG, I guess. They also said Sentinels are set to re-enter the Apex scene. You love to see it. I'm glad that they're not leaving, but they will be participating at Split 1 playoff LAN. They just basically said, look, I don't care how it's going to happen. We will be at that LAN event, obviously hoping to win. So multiple sources here from esports.gg confirmed this and said that our sources say the Sentinels Apex roster will be Joseph Frex Sanchez, then you got Zenial, and however, it says although it's unknown if Dropped will be officially signing to the Sentinels as well. Sources suggest that he will instead be joining OpTic Gaming's roster, but after the Split 1 LAN playoffs in London next week. This is due to the roster lock imposed by the ALGS. So basically, I think the reason all of this is happening is in order for this to go through, he has to continue to play with this roster. But after all this is over, he will be moving over to the OpTic roster, which in due means that unfortunately Duplex is the more likely to be dropped from the OpTic Gaming roster. Rumors have been circulating that SSG will depart from Apex Legends after the LAN, and it appears that they have no intention to remain involved in the ALGS going forward. SSG joins G2, Cloud9, Team Liquid in departing from Apex Legends. Now, it's still unknown if G2 will like fully stay away from Apex. I've heard that they offered Chaotic Much a still roster spot here, and they maybe, you know, be looking to build a new pro team here. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen, but definitely is worth mentioning there. Now, I also wanted to mention this could be another roster update for another organization that is worth talking about. So in the oversight playoffs, if anything are to go by, Sentinel's long-term third will be Monsoon of Complexity. So a little bit of a Complexity roster update. Monsoon seems to be possibly leaving there and coming over to the Sentinels to be the long-term third after Drop leaves after the LAN is over. It is apparent that this roster situation has become more complicated due to the ALGS roster lock after the Pro League ended. So honestly, in my opinion, after this LAN is over, roster changes, roster mania is going to go absolutely wild. So make sure you have hit that big red button so you can stay up to date on all things ALGS. And say after the Pro League is ended, you can make any changes you want to the roster besides adding a sub or replacing someone who is denied a visa. Drop may officially sign to the Sentinels temporarily, or he may not sign and compete under SSG or as a free agent, but it is not clear yet how the situation will be handled by the respective party. Now, when it comes to the OpTic situation, obviously we've got to talk about who are they going to be dropping for all of this. Drop to OpTic has some logic behind it because OpTic has struggled in the Pro League, and honestly, from what I've seen, they've really struggled since ALGS year 2. They got some amazing wins over there in their group stage, and they just could not, unfortunately, keep it going after all of the ALGS year 2 was over. They just kind of been struggling and been on the downhill ever since. They've had some high moments, of course, but at the end of the day, it's just not kind of converted to a long-term success. Duplex, who seems to be departing from OpTic, fills a similar role to Drop, so it's definitely going to make sense here. The co-IGLing and play supporting and anchor Legends and Drop will be a wealth of experience for the OpTic roster, and having appeared at several lands as well and competed at the top of the Apex scene from day one, it is unclear what Duplex has planned here. And this is kind of where it gets sad. I don't really know what's going on in his mind, but he has been AWOL from both Twitter and Twitch for some time at this point. So you know they're probably going to be dropping him soon. They probably will be making the move over. And honestly, like I said, at ALGS year 2 is probably because the whole Caustic and Gibraltar meta is now gone. So a lot of these guys are just entirely different when it comes to new metas for all of this. Now, I also wanted to mention throughout all of this roster mania and all of this roster change, it actually seems to be confirmed now. TSM and ImperialHal specifically confirming who their substitute is going to be, and also it's someone that we've seen before over on the TSM roster. So if someone gets sick and obviously they need to pull in their sub, it's going to be an interesting sight to see if they're able to bounce back in all of this. And honestly, I think this sub is going to bring a lot of hype to the team as well, just because I think the fans do love this guy. But I think it was also confirmed on his stream as well. The comment section was like, yes, it is confirmed. It's not just, you know, a leak. It's not just something to talk about. It's not speculatory. It is confirmed. So roll the clip.
You guys' sub is still Reptar?
Burn is a go.
No, it's Snipe.
Oh, nice.
So that is a lot to uncover when it comes to the Apex roster mania as of now. So too long didn't read, is it most likely Dropped is going to be moving over to the Apex roster. Duplex, unfortunately, will be removed from the OpTic roster more than likely. SSG will be departing from the Apex Legends scene right after LAN event is over, and then Sentinels is going to be picking up this squad, but because Dropped is going to be leaving after the LAN event, more than likely Complexity's Monsoon will be joining the Sentinels roster as their long-term third. A lot to uncover there, I know. And also JMeyels is going to be, you know, one of their main players that they're going to be playing with as well. And then of course you got Frexes, because those are the people over from SSG. Just thought that was worth mentioning. If you guys want to stay up to date, all things, you know, with the roster mania after this LAN event is over, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you got the notification bell on. Last thing I want to mention here, as we approach this LAN and literally next week, here's how the entire split playoff works. So obviously everything starts here at the group stage. You've got all your teams, and you got day 1 and day 2, which is nothing but group stage. The top out of that is going to move over to the winners bracket and skip loser bracket round 1, of course. And so you'll have your top, I think 20 or so out of that in the winners bracket. Then you got your group stage losers that come down to loser bracket round 1. The top out of that will move over to loser bracket round 2. And obviously if you lose that again, you will be eliminated from the tournament. And then you've got your winners bracket. Whoever wins that will go over to the playoff finals. And so the winners from loser bracket round 1 and the losers from winner bracket will come down to loser bracket round 2. Then the winners out of that will make it over to the playoff finals along with the winner bracket, you know, winners that won. And then obviously if you lose that, you will be eliminated as well. Then you've got the playoff finals, which is the big shebang. The final one, the final 20 teams that we're all going to be looking at here. So basically the way that the bracket works is that the top 10 move forward, the bottom 10 go to the losers bracket. The top 10 move forward, the bottom 10 gets eliminated right after that. So definitely going to be an interesting sight to see, and especially with the match point system, it's going to be awesome. Apex Legends Esports is probably the best battle royale out there right now, because I hate all the other point systems out there, because someone could win the game but they didn't win the tournament because you got to tally the points all of a sudden. But with the match point system, it's able to kind of be a little bit more understanding, and you can say, look, this team now needs to win this game. When it gets to the end game, you can actually get excited for a team that's about to win rather than worried about tallying up points. So let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comment section below. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy. Subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date all things ALGS related and esports for Apex Legends. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Until next time, I'll see you later, Gators. I'm wearing a hat back tomorrow.